I'm Jermaine Benz, 9450 Berkey Highway, Blissfield, Ragged Township, and I came on the request of Brenda Vandenberg-Leonard, or Leonard Vandenberg, who has had surgery today. She's a resident on Crockett Highway in Palmyra Township, and she asked me to read this to you. As you all know, our country is trillions of dollars in debt, and our credit rating just reduced to a AA rating because we cannot control our spending. With a massive giveaway of our taxpayers' money to foreign investors, such as Germany, Spain, China, and others, and stimulus money to build massive industrial wind turbines all over our beautiful country, and then charge us higher electric rates to support their pocketbooks. We just can no longer afford to pay these massive subsidies to support a wind industry which is going to be big corporations and many that are foreign-based. Frankly, if we don't give the wind developers what they want, like every good parasite, they would likely kill the host. If the wind industry is allowed to feed off of the United States' economy to the degree that they would like, they will bankrupt us. This is a behind closed doors secret deal that is going to drive up our electric bills for 20 years. It will be a significant transfer of funds through electric bills from seniors and families with kids to one of the biggest corporations in the world. I just think it's wrong to ask senior citizens and struggling families with kids to pay higher and higher electric bills to make good on our government's expensive experiments. As far as creating jobs, Americans will have to subsidize every one of these so-called green jobs. So how many honest, hard-working Americans does it take to go to work to pay the taxes to create one of these totally subsidized green jobs? The economics of wind are ludicrous, and there's no way Americans' economy will be strengthened. On the contrary, it has a negative effect on our economy. We are going to see more rural residents rising up and standing for their communities, fighting for the areas that hold a special place in their hearts, and making sure they are protected by taking direct political action. I don't think corporate wind projects should be imposed on the community. We are going to say no. We're going to stand up and we're going to fight them off. Not here, not now, not ever. I think it's just plain wrong. That's from Brenda. And from me, I've been a realtor for 25 years. And I heard it addressed tonight, my name was brought up, that I did not answer George Green's question when he asked me about property values and what I thought. I have produced studies that show that the property values reduced from 25 to 40%. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, my name is Cody Sealer. I'm a resident of Palmyra Township, 5285 Road. First, I'd like to thank the board. It's a thankless task, and I know it for a lot of time or something. Tonight I am going to present two documents to the board. One is the McCann report. It's an appraisal analysis for home value loss. And then the second one is also McCann. It's a rebuttal to the LBNL, just finding that property value loss is nil, but it actually is an issue. So, in summary of what the reports say, property values are affected by wind turbines, especially on properties considered footprint or ground zero homes. I think our 750-foot setback from a property line would qualify as a sleep disturbance has been notable within a mile. And the report also recommends a property value guarantee be a small amount in the overall project to ensure that people don't use their rights as landowners or property owners as a resident. And the report also shows data that suggests property values will be reduced by 25 to 40%. And in some places close to the turbines could be total abandonment. So, on a different note, my personal belief is that I just think that we need to protect the community and the residents in Palmyra also. I think my mom's a very smart lady. She talked to me earlier. She's an attorney, Gene Stewart. And and she's been through this firsthand, seen how it all works. So I heed her warnings, and, and in terms of modifications to the ordinance to protect the residents. Thank you for your time.
Laura Van Camp, 6867 Scott Highway, Blissfield, Michigan, Palmyra Township. Before I make my comments, I want to introduce into the record a summary of Dr. Salt's research. Some of it has been provided to you. I don't know if it's been read or not. Titled Responses of the Ear to Infrasound and Wind Turbines, Cochlear Fluids Research Laboratory, Washington University in St. Louis. With the bottom line reading, the commonly held belief that low-frequency sounds you cannot hear cannot affect the inner ear is incorrect. Our paper reviews well-established publications by leading scientists in the field of auditory physiology and concludes that the outer hair cells of the cochlea are stimulated by very low-frequency sounds at up to 40 decibels below the level that's heard. I will hand this over to the board in a minute. Who knows if it will get read. I got an email from Dr. Leonard through my brother that actually said he had received information from the IICC he didn't even open. So I don't know how you could weigh all facts when you're not looking at both sides. Not one of the board.
I didn't open it that night.
Not one of the board attended the Windfall screening by Laura Israel, the documentary about the town in New York that's going through the exact same thing we are, and that's been critically acclaimed all over the world in all types of film festivals for its information. No one bothered to attend that. And I want to make a couple of comments about things that were said by other people in the audience. One, God may have made wind. He did not create government subsidies to build projects to harness it. I thought that was kind of a low blow to bring God into the argument in either direction. I want to say that although I do commend you for your time, one night a week, we're doing 3-4 nights a week. We're in Ogden, we're in Fairfield, we're in Palmyra, we're in Riga. We're doing stuff at home, we're stuffing letters, we're doing research, we're meeting on Saturday mornings. This is 3-4 nights a week for us. This is not one night a week. We know more about what this is going on than you do, and you get to make the decision. This is not a right to farm issue. Industrial wind turbines, where is the word farm in there? That is not agricultural. And it doesn't matter, although some of you I respect that you've lived here for years and your families are from here, that has nothing to do with this. I have just as much right, I've been here for 23 years. I have just as much right whether I've lived here for a year or I own 200 acres or I own an acre. That doesn't give anyone else more right to take advantage of me. And I'd like to ask that the Planning Commission will sign a document saying that they will not participate in the wind program personally, since they are making a decision on what happens to the rest of us.
Hi, Robert Clements, 4869 Ingle Road, zone residential, surrounded by agriculture. I'd first like to thank the board for all the time you put into the ordinance, and I'd like to thank all of you for coming. I think the board needs to hear everyone's opinion, no matter what your position is. I'd also like to let the record reflect I'm providing the Palmyra Township Planning Commission with a document entitled Mechanical Operating and Maintenance Manual from the Vesta V93 Megawatt Turbine. Chapter 1, Safety Regulations for Operators and Technicians states, do not stay within a radius of 1,300 feet from the turbine unless it is necessary. Make sure children do not stay or play nearby a turbine. Some individuals may think 3 times the height of the turbine is restrictive, but the manufacturer states that 1,300 feet is safe for operators and technicians. I feel a setback of 3 times the height of the tower from the property line is absolutely necessary. I strongly recommend 4 times the height of the tower from the property line. After all, the recommended safety zone is for technicians and operators and does not take into consideration people who do not fully understand the dangers a trained expert will look for. I would also hope the board would reconsider this setback for noise and shadow flicker to the property line. We pay taxes on all of our property and should be able to use it accordingly. We should not have to avoid parts of our property due to shadow flicker or sound levels. I would also like to enter into the record a document titled Wind Farm Back to the Drawing Board. In this article, Richland County, Ohio Road Commissioner went to his peers in Benton County, Indiana to discuss the outcome of a similar project proposed in their county. His peers in Benton stated that the project caused $13 million worth of road damage that the county had to pay for. This year, Palmyra budgeted only $100,000 for road repairs. How can Palmyra and neighboring townships recover this kind of cost? For those who think $13 million is out of the question for county road damage, to put road repairs into perspective, at the last township meeting, the board approved $25,000 to restone less than 2 miles of Academy Road. The ordinance states that a bond or agreement is to be reached with the road commission prior to the project, but who's going to document the current conditions of the road and prove who caused the damage, then make them pay for repairs in a timely fashion without litigation? I think this is vital to the ordinance. One last topic I would like to discuss is in the ordinance we state under shadow flicker, if a pre-existing seizure disorder or vestibular disease patient lives within a specified area, the company should mitigate to minimize shadow flicker. This is essentially admitting to adverse health effects and does not take into consideration individuals who may develop these issues in the future. I feel all non-participating properties should be treated as though someone with this condition lives there. I'd like to thank the board for giving me this opportunity to speak, and I'd like them to consider everything said here tonight. I feel with all this information, it would not do adequate justice to finalize an ordinance tonight without being able to take this back and review it amongst each other and discuss in another meeting. Thank you all.
Thank you. My name is Lynn Southward. I live at 8001 Pixton Road, Palmyra Township, and I believe it's agriculture district area. I'd like to say thank you to Jim Leonard this evening for allowing my wife to stay here this evening by turning off the ceiling fans. If you hadn't done that, she probably wouldn't have been here the full term of the meeting. Because she does have a vestibular problem, and it's motion. When those ceiling fans are turning, it does affect her health. And I'm here to ask you to change the setback that you have in the ordinance. There are two reasons. In the village, you've got a 1/2 mile setback. And in the ordinance, you've got 4 times 223. But in the ordinance, that's 3 times the height of the project in the resident area. So why is it different from 223 to the residents in where I live? Why is there so much difference? It's 4 times the height on 223, but only 3 times where I live. And it's a complete 1/2 mile from the village. I don't want to accuse you of being partial to the village people, but it sounds like you are. So I'm asking you to change the setbacks to at least 2,000 feet. Everything I've heard of is the setback is 1.5 times, 4 times, 3 times the height of each one of these turbines. I've heard the turbine height is going to be 500 feet. If it is 500 feet, that's only 1,500 feet from 1.5 times. That's 1,500 feet from my home. What happens if they decide to put up a tower that's only 300 feet? Now it's 200 feet shorter. They can come closer to my home. So I'm asking you to set up an ordinance that has a distance of feet rather than 1.5 times. I appreciate the whole board, what you've done. You've done a good job. And I think you need to take some precautions to help the people that do have the health problem, the circular motion and these things. We love to sit and watch to the west, where our home is, and watch the sun go down. And that sun is being interrupted by a motion of a turbine going around. We're not going to be very happy. We're going to have to change our lifestyle. I don't think anybody should have to change their lifestyle because of a wind turbine being put in their neighborhood. Thank you very much. Thank you, Lynn.
Josh Nolan, 6140 Sunny Lake Court, Sylvania Township. 9 to